Does finally come back and get in the cage and want to punch his face in. But for now, when I win this belt, I am the champ, you know what I mean? While he's out the cage, I'm the lightweight champ. It's very small compared to me, you know what I mean? He's up to like here, he's not that wide. You've definitely seen that video of him and Pantoja just stood next to each other and they look the same weight.
And I hope Paddy is gonna lose, because if Paddy wins, it's gonna be a problem for me again.
Why do you think so?
I think he's gonna try and avoid me.
You say if he wins against Justin or if he wins against Ilya?
No, against Justin. Against Ilya, he never can beat Ilya.
Okay.
No way.
So you think if Paddy wins the interim belt, he'll try not to fight you?
Yeah. UFC gotta push him probably.
Really?
Paddy Pimblett is prepared for his next bout with Justin Gaethje at UFC 324, where both will contend for the interim strap. Both are quite enthusiastic about this match, and Paddy eagerly anticipates Ilya's return, keen to face him once Justin's challenge is done. Paddy views Ilia Topuria's inevitable comeback as something he already anticipates, despite maintaining his concentration on Justin Gaethje at UFC 324. He indicates there will be no gentle start when Topuria returns, emphasizing his intent to confront him directly and inflict harm. In Pimblett's view, the journey is straightforward. First defeat Gaethje, then directly shift his focus to Topuria and make his comeback as aggressive as he can.
I wasn't too surprised. I know Ilya's going through a lot of stuff and wish him nothing but the best with it, know what I mean? That's nothing to do with us fighting, it's nothing to do with being in the cage. So all that around his family life, I hope everything goes perfect for him. But when he does finally come back and get in the cage, I want to punch his face in. But for now, when I win this belt, I am the champ, know what I mean? While he's out the cage, I'm the lightweight champ. And that's the way I see it.
So that interim belt to you will feel undisputed?
Yeah. 1 million.
Paddy Pimblett, moreover, jeers at Ilya's physique, asserting his build offers a large benefit over Ilia Topuria. He points out that Ilya's frame is smaller and not as broad, stressing that weight categories exist for a specific reason. Pimblett cautions that should Ilya try to fight, he could get into deep trouble.
His support, essentially he wants you to win, he wants that fight. Have you allowed yourself to think of what a fight with Ilya looks like?
Yeah, I think I beat him up as well, know what I mean? Like, he's very small compared to me, know what I mean? He's up to like here, he's not that wide. You've definitely seen that video of him and Pantoja just stood next to each other and they look the same weight. So, like, this weight class is for a reason. And if he wants to fight me at 155, it'll get seriously messy on his face.
Additionally, Matt Brown expresses worry that Ilia Topuria might struggle if he comes back too soon while grappling with personal issues from his public divorce. He believes Ilia could return before being psychologically prepared and then lose because his mind isn't entirely focused on the bout. Brown acknowledges it's a daring forecast and states he's torn, pointing out that Ilia is an intelligent person. Nonetheless, he highlights that fighters dislike being inactive, and the impulse for a swift comeback can occasionally backfire. Right.
I have, and that is Ilia comes back, but the bolder prediction is he loses. He comes back too soon, still dealing with all this bullshit, and ends up losing because he's not in the right headspace. But I think Ilya's a smart guy. That's why I'm, kind of on the fence about this prediction a little bit, right? I'm not saying like, I really believe this prediction or anything. But man, fighters don't like not fighting. They don't like sitting on the sideline.
Matt Brown speaks from his own past, stating it's nearly impossible to view a fight card when you're sidelined. You simply yearn to be the one inside the cage. He predicts Ilia will experience that very same urge. Though Ilia is fit and physically prepared, Brown observes he's still grappling with significant private matters. He anticipates the competitive impulse will ultimately force Ilya's return prematurely, even if the timing isn't quite ideal, and concedes it's a daring prediction, yet one that seems quite plausible given the circumstances.
Speak from my own experience, every time I got injured and someone wants to watch a UFC card, it's hard to watch. You can't sit there and watch it. You want to be the guy in there. You want to be the one that people are watching. And I think he's going to have that. He's healthy. He's not, it's obviously he's dealing with some pretty heavy shit, but he's healthy. He wants to come back and compete and fight. And I think he'll end up breaking to that, and he'll end up coming back. But it's not going to be a good time, and he's going to be dealing with shit. And that's kind of two bold predictions, to be honest. So
Well, Arman Tsarukyan states he's pulling for Justin Gaethje to get the victory over Paddy Pimblett. He details that if Justin prevails, a bout with him appears probable, but Paddy would likely shun the encounter, unlike Justin, who he views as more keen to meet hard opponents. Indeed,
me to get hurt because I'm not gonna fight him. I'm a nightmare for him, and he knows that if we're gonna fight, he's gonna lose, and he's gonna try not to fight me on his whole life. And I hope Justin Gaethje gonna knock him out and send him back to England, and he can eat his I don't know what he's eating there, chicken or whatever.
Arman Tsarukyan remains unconcerned by Justin Gaethje's alleged staph infection. He highlights that grave problems are seldom made public and remarks that numerous combatants contend with staph infections. Thus, it causes him no worry.
When these pictures showed up last week of like a thing on his neck, did you inquire about it? Did you?
No, if something real happened, never gonna post. They never post like this thing.
Sure.
Yeah,
but sometimes there's like a staph infection, and the internet.
Yeah, but
finds
everybody's fighting with staph infection.
Sure.
So.
But if they called you, let's just say hypothetically today, to fight on that card, could you do it?
I'm here because of that.
You're here to wait.
Yeah.
But you're not a backup fighter. You're not going to weigh in and all this.
No, because I did on the June and nothing happened. Just a waste of my energy.
Tsarukyan claims that withdrawing from the bout with Islam Makhachev proved to be a pivotal moment in his career. He clarifies that the action gained considerable notice, both backing and disapproval, which helped elevate his standing. He additionally credits joining Khamzat Chimaev's group afterward as a vital.
It was a pull-out.
You think that was the turning point?
Yeah.
You think that made you popular?
Yeah, I was popular when I pulled out.
Why? People were talking about you.
Yeah, because it was a big fight. When I pulled out, they started talking about someone started support me, someone started to hate me, and then from that I started getting bigger. And then I went to the Khamzat's camp. It helped me too with Khamzat. And
how did that happen?
We just became friends.
Okay.
Yeah, from Thailand, and then we started training together. And then I wanted to come to LA to prepare for the UFC fight for the belt. So he came, he liked it, and he stayed there. We won the belt. So now I'm looking for his fight. To help him and to be close to him.
It also shows grappling contests aren't as serious to him as UFC fights. Not cutting weight makes defeat unimportant. This isn't his principal sport. He's been months fixated on the fight, given that's his true passion and where he plans to be champion.
This is like training session. Even like, because I don't cut weight.
Yeah.
If I lose, okay, I lose. I don't care.
Right.
But
you do have an ego, right? You want to be successful.
But it's not my sport, you know.
Yeah.
If I lose in the freestyle wrestling, it's okay, you know. But UFC, it's I locked in before 2 months.
Right.
And I think about that fight all day because that's sport that I live for, you know.
Right.
And it's my goal to be UFC champion, and I treat my training camp myself is different, you know. But in the wrestling, you don't get hurt, you know, and it's easier to wrestle, you know, for me. But MMA is hard, and pressure, media, and like if you lose, you're done, you know. Like everybody's waiting when you lose.
Right.
That's why you wanna be at the best, and yeah, it's completely different.
Arman remains improbable to receive an opportunity since he may not be back in Dana White's good graces. Regardless, Chael Sonnen comes forward to back Arman Tsarukyan, imploring everyone to offer him some credit. He details that Arman consented to be a standby competitor, was made to wait, and stood ready to intervene instantly. Sonnen highlights this commitment merits respect and clemency, adding he personally grants Arman clemency and expects others to concur.
Weigh in 2 weeks as a backup fighter for UFC 324? What's his situation?
Can we please forgive him? Whatever he did to get himself in this weird purgatory, can we also remember that he agreed to be a backup fighter, that he did a training camp, that he flew out to Las Vegas, he went through the commission, he made weight, he was ready to go in on a moment's notice. You get something for that. I want him to get something. I want him recognized. I forgive Arman Tsarukyan. I want other people to forgive him.
Hand. Paddy Pimblett believes Max Holloway demonstrated how to beat Justin Gaethje standing. He feels confident standing with him, citing Max's showing as the clear model. Pimblett is confident his strategy will succeed and anticipates stopping Gaethje within 3 rounds.
That he wants to keep this on the feet. We know his knockout power, but your submission skills are so slick. You want to take it to the ground? Oh, okay.
I'll keep it on the feet with him. Like, there's the blueprint there to beat him. Max done it, and everyone underestimates my strike, and everyone thinks I'm just gonna come in and I'm gonna take him down, and I'm not. Like, he had an absolute war with Chandler, and I Chandler up. So I know MMA math doesn't work, but you'll see come Jan 24th when we have a perfect game plan and we finish him within 3.
Paddy Pimblett also confesses he's a big Justin Gaethje admirer, referring to him as a competitor all genuine MMA fans respect. He characterized Gaethje as a cherished fighter's cherished fighter, commending his thrilling and captivating nature whenever he competes. To Pimblett, the prospect of entering the octagon with an individual he'd looked up to for so long seemed unbelievable, portraying the contest as the type of occasion he'd envisioned well before attaining this stage.
You've got a big challenge ahead of you first with Justin Gaethje. Were you a Justin Gaethje fan prior to any thought of fighting him?
I am a Justin Gaethje fan, not was, I am.
Yeah.
And anyone who is an MMA fan and isn't a Justin Gaethje fan isn't an MMA fan. Like, I always say, he's your favourite fighter's favourite fighter. He's one of my favourite fighters, one of the best fighters that you can watch. And the fact that I'm now getting in there against him is what dreams him.
Justin Gaethje makes it plain regarding Paddy Pimblett. He recounts entering the bout with a completely absorbing concentration, viewing it as full-scale conflict, and allowing no space to ponder Ilia Topuria or anything not right before him.
He says Scousers don't get knocked out. What do you say to that?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Have you allowed...
I will try to test that theory.
Have you allowed yourself to think ahead to once you win, if you get the win, Ilia? No thought?
Nope, I've said it before, I don't ever plan on being alive after the fight, so... If that's how it ends, that's how it ends.
Pimblett embraces his non-standard style, calling himself clumsy and a bit of an oddball. He clarifies that he neither grapples nor hits, quite like others, carrying out everything in his own fashion. Consequently, he believes no one can truly find a training partner who perfectly copies him, making his distinct style unachievable to reproduce in session.
Talk that, Justin Gaethje has good wrestling. He uses it very well defensively. Can you foresee him maybe being able to stuff your takedowns?
No.
No.
I don't wrestle like a normal person. I don't shoot double legs and single legs and wrestle like a normal person does. I do everything differently. I'm not normal, so he's not gonna be able to get a sparring partner in what grapples like me or strikes like me, because I'm a weirdo.
Fair enough.
It's the way it is. But
he did call your style awkward, actually.
I'm honest, Val, and I'm very awkward. You can't really get a sparring partner in to do me because I'm so awkward. So I'm looking forward to fighting him. As I say, he's a legend. He's someone I've always loved watching. So to get the chance to actually get in the cage and fight with him is unbelievable. Like, I can't wait. And to have Justin Gaethje on my resume is going to be something that'll last forever. You know what I mean? It'll be part of my legacy, and I'm looking forward to it. I just hope he doesn't retire once I beat him.
Justin Gaethje seeks a second fight against Max Holloway, wishing Max defeats Charles Oliveira, and additionally wishes Ilia Topuria ascends, paving his path to fight Holloway at the White House.
Max Holloway for the BMF belt, a belt that you've held before. What do you think of that matchup?
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Yeah, I hope Max wins. I hope Ilia goes up, and then I can fight Max on the White House card and take the BMF belt and the championship.
Oh, there you go.
Earlier, Arman Tsarukyan is also keen to face the victor of Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway for the BMF strap if Ilia Topuria isn't back by summer. He notes that Ilia fights only once yearly, and he doesn't want to wait idly. Securing that BMF belt, meanwhile, would be an enormous chance for him.
The thing is, what if Ilia comes back in the summertime, right? And now you've got an interim champion, and usually the interim champion will fight the actual champion.
Maybe.
You're neither of those. That means we're talking about another fight happening, and you're not fighting for the belt, and now we're talking about the back end of the year.
Yeah, but maybe BMF title.
Okay.
So we'll see.
You don't want that, right? You want the real title.
Yeah, I want a real title, but I don't want to wait until the end of the next year. And then Ilia, he fights once a year. Maybe he defend his title in June and then say, okay, I'll fight next year in June. And then what I can do, just stay and I'm not that young to wait a lot too. So if they give me BMF title, it would be great too. If Charles Oliveira wins, so it's gonna be good. We got the story, and just get that belt, and then the real belt.
Justin Gaethje discusses the rumors hinting he would retire without a title opportunity, admitting he reacted with emotion and took it personally. He clarifies the situation partly arose from his manager's framing and that he might have spoken purely from emotion. Gaethje recognizes fighters are emotional and petty sometimes, stating he felt he had earned more, which then really struck a nerve.
That you'd said if you didn't get a title shot next that you might retire. Was there any truth to that? And if so, is giving you this interim title shot kind of said, okay, I feel like I'm getting what I deserve now?
Well, I definitely, I got what I asked for. It was more my manager put me in that, but I mean, I probably said it, but it was, we're emotional beings, and we're petty. We don't get to where I'm at or where these fighters are at without being petty. I take things personal, and I thought I had earned something, and so I was trying to stand up.
He also affirmed that should he be knocked out once more, he would likely step aside from the sport. He explained that experiencing a knockout for the first time led him to reevaluate his career standing, mentioning that this isn't the start, but the finishing lap. Gaethje stressed the necessity of safeguarding his well-being, relying on his team and relatives to consider his welfare, and recognizing when to quit instead of letting the sport take more than it returns.
Of how many wars you have left in you? What is that number today?
One more knockout. I went to sleep. Before that, I'd never been put to sleep. If I would get put to sleep again, I would definitely call it quits.
Really? So you're drawing a line?
That's been my line. Yeah, it never happened. So it wasn't like if I get knocked out, I'm quitting. But once I got knocked out, 37 years old. If I was 20, 27, 30, this would be a different story. But this is not the beginning. This is definitely the end of my career, and it's been such an amazing thing. Obviously, they'll use and abuse you in this sport, and you have to protect yourself. And I obviously have created a team. I got my family and my coaches, and they all have my best interest in at hand. And I've always told them that I'm in it till they say I don't have it no more. Or whenever I feel like my younger self, the hunger of my younger self can beat the skills that I have now.
Concurrently, Arman suggests he might move to the featherweight division if the opportunity appears to vie for a championship. He clarifies that transitioning to 145 pounds isn't a casual decision, but entering a championship fight at that weight would make it worthwhile. For Arman, the priority is consistently on meaningful opportunities, and a featherweight championship bid would definitely fit the criteria.
I'm not too big for 155, so maybe one day I'll go down for 145 even.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can make it just for title fight.
Just for title fight?
Yeah.
You versus Volkanovski?
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Ups kick.
Oh.
Short.
Yeah. Yeah. Because of the size.
Like you see the video, I was sparring with
Oh,
guy.
I saw that. Yes.
Easy ups kick.
Yes, I know. Who is that guy, by the way?
Oh, he's a strong guy.
Is he?
Yeah, he trains with us. And when I saw him in the mat, I said I gotta train with you all day because I gotta get used to shoot short legs.
Sure.
Alexander Volkanovski has also competed at 155, so if Arman considers moving down, his supporters think Volk could also ascend. However, the featherweight champion details why a further lightweight title chance isn't within his immediate plans. He states that although he'd accept the contest if offered, he doesn't consider himself worthy of a chance right now. Volkanovski intends to concentrate on 2 to 3 additional victories over the coming few, weighing returning to contend for the top.
For you, are you going to be done after this fight?
Yeah, I don't know where that came from exactly. Obviously, I guess whether people are just going off what I say. Like I'm like, how many more do I have? If I was to get beaten up, am I gonna come back to fight? No, you know what I mean. But that's not my plans. Unless something things go horrendously wrong. I'm planning on going back out there. Whether the next one, taking on an undefeated fighter in the UFC or something like that, I mean, that's appealing. Maybe that could be one that I finish up on. But right now, I plan on everything going well, getting my hand raised, hopefully taking minimal damage so I can have a quick turnaround and still fighting. So the plan isn't definitely to retire, you know what I mean? So that's, I don't know where that comes from.
Okay.
Volkanovski plans a swift defeat of Diego Lopez, avoiding harm while guaranteeing a rapid comeback. He considers a quick win an opportunity to proceed to another bout quickly, perhaps facing Movsar Evloev or Lerone Murphy.
I plan on doing what I'm going to do. You know, again, he's a dangerous guy. He's tough. We know, we see now, you know, he can take a good punch. But I plan on going out there. I don't take any damage, and I want to have a quick turnaround. Try and have the quick turnaround that I wanted last time. And then maybe we can do it with someone like Movsar or Lerone Murphy. And then, again, I know they'll be disappointed, but their fight won't be too far away because I'll make sure.
Volkanovski clarified the reason Diego Lopez received the title chance instead of Lerone Murphy and Movsar Evloev, stating the bout still assured excitement. He then mentioned Murphy and Movsar would probably battle, and should that happen, he'd gladly hold off and meet whoever came out on top afterward.
Just beat this guy in your last fight, and it wasn't a controversial fight or anything like that. Did it take some time to get, you know, a little bit revved up for this challenge?
Not really. I mean, I'm going to fight whoever. You know, I'm just, whoever it is, I'll step up. Obviously, I'm going to look at how people, you know, maybe legacy-wise and all that, you know, would I rather an undefeated fighter like a Movsar or a, you know, Lerone Murphy or something like that? Yeah, maybe. But I know this is still going to be an exciting fight. And I can just, you know, fight if I think they might be fighting. I'm not too sure. I think Lerone Murphy and Movsar might be fighting, and if that's the case, I'll just fight the winner of that. You know, obviously I've got to take care of business 1st of February.
Volkanovski provides more insight into his career's path, clarifying he's involved in various non-fighting projects, thriving remarkably, while regarding finances, he states combat has consistently centered on supporting his family. Volkanovski believes he retains the capacity to contend at an elite level, observing how gym members praise his workout vigor. He affirms he's still performing powerfully and will keep moving ahead, leaving subsequent actions undecided for what comes next.
Paddy Pimblett say if he wins against Justin Gaethje, he could see a world where you'll want to go up and fight him at 155. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I've seen that. I mean, if it's offered to me, of course I'm gonna, you know, I'll fight for the lightweight title. But I mean, you know, as everyone knows, I'm pretty real with everything. Right now, it's like, do I deserve a shot at the lightweight title already? You know what I mean? Like right now, it's like, no, I know I don't. So it's not something that I'm planning. And like I said, I'm not planning to fight for another, you know, 2-3 years. So I feel like for me to deserve a shot like that, I'm going to need another 2-3 wins. And then, you know, maybe I'm back in a position where I can fight for, you know, I deserve a shot at that lightweight title. You know, I don't believe I deserve that right now. So that's why it's not.
This finishes up today's video. If you liked it, share your thoughts about the fight in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe to our channel for the newest UFC news and updates.